In this video, we'll cover how to perform an attack in the miniatures wargame Incursion America. If you want to receive updates on our Kickstarter, click on the link in the description below. Attacks happen in the action step. Game pieces take turns in initiative order, so we'll assume it's now the Viper's turn. To be able to attack, the attacker must have a weapon that has range to the target game piece. The attacker must also have line of sight. First, let's see if we have range. To determine what range you're at, simply count the squares from the attacker to the target. Remember, you can't move diagonally when counting. Our range is 15. Now let's see what weapons we have to fire. The weapons a game piece has are found on the lower part of its game card. The Viper has two weapons, a railgun and a machine gun. The game piece can fire all of its primary weapons on its turn, or one of its auxiliary weapons. The machine gun is an auxiliary weapon, so it can't fire at the same time as the railgun. The railgun does 6 damage, and the machine gun only does 1, so we'd rather fire the railgun. Weapons have a minimum range. If a target is at less than the minimum range, you can't attack with that weapon. The railgun has a minimum range of 4. The bulldog is at 15 away, which is greater than our minimum range, so we're good. This weapon has an optimal range of 15. Since the bulldog is 15 away, we're within range. Since we can attack with the railgun, we won't bother with the machine gun. We can attack with this weapon up to its long range of 18, but if we had to do that, the target would get a +2 cover. We'll discuss cover later on in the video. Now, let's see if we have line of sight. To have line of sight, you must be able to draw a straight line from one corner of any game board square under the attacker to any corner under any game board square under the target. The Viper has 9 board squares under its base with a total of 16 corners to choose from, indicated by the green circles. The Bulldog has 4 squares under its base with 9 corners to choose from, shown by this set of green circles. In this example, there's nothing between the two game pieces, so there are many combinations of corners to pick from. We have line of sight. We'll show more complicated examples later. Here's a close-up that shows the 9 game board squares under the Viper and the 16 corners you can choose from. And here are the 9 corners available for the Bulldog. We have range and line of sight, so we can attack the Bulldog with the Viper's railgun. Because nothing's between them and the weapon we're firing isn't at long range, the Bulldog doesn't get any cover modifiers, so we're ready to roll dice. The Viper's railgun has an aim of 4. To successfully hit, you want to roll your aim value or higher with a 10-sided dice. The lower your aim value, the better. We rolled a 10, so that's a hit. The Bulldog will take 6 damage. The number of points of damage a game piece can take before it's defeated are shown here. It will take 12 damage to defeat the Bulldog. When marking damage, start at the left and work right. If there are more than one row of damage, start at the top left. Once you fill in the top row, move down to the next row. We suggest you put your cards in sleeves and mark them with dry erase markers. That way it prevents damage and makes it easy to get ready for the next game. As we mark off hull points, some have icons. When you mark off an HP with an icon, it has an effect on the game piece. Here, we've marked off the lightning bolt, so this reduces the Bulldog's speed by 1. We've also marked off this explosion icon with a 1. This corresponds to the laser gun weapon that has the same icon next to it. This means this weapon has been destroyed. Cover is the mechanic game pieces use to reduce the likelihood they are hit during an attack. The main way to gain cover is to hide behind another game piece. But if a game piece is smaller than both the attacker and the target, it's too small to hide behind, and it can't be used for cover. Here, if the size 2 Viper is attacking the size 2 Bulldog, the size 1 personnel in the middle doesn't provide any cover because it's smaller than both the attacker and the target. But if the personnel and Bulldog change places, the size 2 Bulldog does provide cover when the Viper targets the personnel. The Viper has trouble seeing past the Bulldog that's also size 2. When a personnel is embarked in an obstacle like this building, it takes on the size of the obstacle. If the personnel embarked in the size 2 building on the left is targeting the Bulldog, the size 1 personnel in the middle doesn't provide any cover. Think of it as if the attacker is on the roof of the building. Now that we know what can provide cover, let's figure out how much cover a target can get. The Ratnik soldier on the left is attacking the National Guardsman on the right. The building obstacle is size 3, so it can provide cover for the size 1 personnel. The attacker picks one of the 4 outside corners under its base. It then draws a straight line to all 4 corners of the target. Any of these lines that are blocked by the obstacle or any game piece provides +1 cover for the target. In this example, the attacker can't see 3 of the 4 corners, so the target will get +3 cover. The Ratnik soldier's base weapon has an aim of 3. With the 3 cover, the Ratnik soldier must roll a 6 on a 10-sided die to successfully hit the National Guardsman. If the National Guardsman was attacking, the Ratnik soldier would gain +2 cover. And here, the Bulldog can't see any of the Viper's 4 corners, so the Viper gets +4 cover. With an aim of 4, the Bulldog needs an 8 on a 1d10 to hit the Viper. There are a number of other ways a game piece can increase its cover value. If the attacker's weapon is firing at long range, add 2 to the target's cover. If the target declared it was dodging or prone, add 1 to its cover. If an ally game piece is providing cover fire, the target can get a cover fire bonus. Declaring a game piece will be dodging, prone, or providing cover fire is done in the start step. We'll show more on how these work in the following example. Now let's put it all together. In this example, the Americans have a Bulldog mech. The Russians have 2 Ratnik riflemen and 1 Ratnik minigunner. It's the top of the round. We're in the start step. This rifleman is declaring he's providing cover fire, so he can't do anything for the rest of the round. You'll see how cover fire works later in the video. This Ratnik rifleman is going to run and dodge, so he will declare that he is dodging in the start step. And this minigunner is going to be prone, so he'll be able to attack, but he won't be able to move. The Bulldog has nothing to declare, so we now move to the action step. The Russian player can move his Ratnik soldiers in any order because they all have the same initiative. Again, because this soldier is providing cover fire, he can't do anything except look menacing for the rest of the round. We declared this second rifleman was dodging. That means he gets +1 cover, but he can't attack this round. Now we'll say he's running, so he can move twice his speed of 4. So he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8. The last Ratnik to move is the minigunner. He declared he was prone, so he gets +1 cover. He can't move, but he can attack. He's at range 29 to the bulldog. So he's at long range. That gives the bulldog a +2 cover. He also can't see the 2 of the bulldog's outside corners. That's another 2 cover for a total of 4. His special ability gives him 3 shots with an aim of 5 and 4 cover. He needs 9s to hit. So he gets 2 hits for a total of 4 damage.
With an initiative of 4, the bulldog's turn is last. Even though the bulldog has 2 weapons, a game piece can only fire at one other game piece in a round. Who should it fire at? This rifleman is embarked in a building. The bulldog can't shoot at him directly. He could destroy the building, but that would take several turns. The minigunner has 2 corners blocked, so he gets +2 cover. He's prone, so he gets another +1 cover. Plus, he's at long range for the bulldog's rocket pod, giving him +2 cover for that weapon. And the size 1 personnel in the building is providing cover fire for another +1 cover. So, if he attacks the minigunner, it will need a 10 with the rocket pod and an 8 with the laser gun. This last Ratnik rifleman is behind the building. The bulldog doesn't have line of sight, so it can't fire. But if the bulldog moves to its left, it will have line of sight, be in optimal range, and be able to see all 4 corners of the target's base. The target will still get +1 cover for the cover fire from the rifleman in the building, and +1 cover because it's dodging. With both weapons having an aim of 4, plus the 2 cover, the bulldog will only need 6s to hit. We rolled a 9 and a 10. Both hit for a total of 5 damage. The Ratnik soldier only has 2 HP, so he's defeated. Remember, a natural roll of 1 is always a miss, and a natural roll of 10 is always a hit. We only moved the bulldog 4 squares so far. It lost 1 speed when it took damage from the minigunner, so it can still move another 4 squares. We'll move so we can gain some cover behind this building for next round. All of our game pieces have moved this round, so that ends the action step. We now move to the end step. In this example, there are no actions that need to be taken in the end step, so we move to the next round and the start step. If you have any questions, post it in the comments below. If you'd like updates on our Kickstarter, please follow the link in the description below and subscribe to our newsletter. If you liked this video, please subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment below. We need your help to build a better game.